In the small village of Banneux, Belgium, in 1933, a series of extraordinary events took place that would transform this quiet, rural community into a significant religious pilgrimage site. The apparitions of the Virgin Mary to an 11-year-old girl named Mariette Bacot became known as the Apparitions of Our Lady of Banneux, or the Virgin of the Poor. The early 20th century was a time of great social and political upheaval, particularly in Europe. The impact of World War I, 1914 to 1918, had left Belgium and much of the continent devastated. The war not only caused immense destruction and loss of life, but also led to significant economic hardship and political instability. In the aftermath of the war, Belgium faced high unemployment, food shortages, and widespread suffering. These conditions contributed to a sense of despair among the population, particularly among the working class. The Russian Revolution of 1917 had led to the establishment of a socialist state, inspiring socialist movements across the continent. And the Great Depression of the 1930s further deepened the economic crisis, amplifying the struggle of the poor and reinforcing the need for spiritual and material support. In this climate of economic distress and ideological struggle, the apparitions in Banneux took on a profound significance, particularly given the Virgin Mary's identification as the Virgin of the Poor. Banneux was a modest village located about 20 kilometers southeast of Liège, Belgium. The Bacot family, consisting of Julian and Louise Bacot and their 11 children, lived in a small, simple home in an area known as La Fange. Life was challenging due to the economic difficulties of the time, and the family's religious practice was minimal. Mariette, born on March 25, 1921, was a quiet and observant girl who had little formal religious education. Her father, initially indifferent to religion, struggled to provide for his large family, which made Mariette's mystical experiences all the more surprising. On the evening of January 15th, 1933, Mariette sat by the kitchen window waiting for her younger brother. As she gazed outside, she saw a luminous figure of a woman dressed in white, with a blue sash and holding a rosary in her hands. Mesmerized, she called out to her mother, who dismissed it as nonsense. Mariette returned to the window, but the figure had disappeared. Despite her mother's skepticism, Mariette was convinced that she had seen something supernatural and could not shake the image of the lady's gentle, glowing presence. Determined to see the lady again, Mariette went outside on January 18th, despite the cold. As she knelt to pray, the figure appeared once more and gestured for her to follow. Mariette, barefoot, followed her to a small spring along the roadside. The lady spoke for the first time, saying, "This spring is reserved for me." After blessing the spring, she disappeared. This statement led to much speculation and discussion among the villagers, who began to wonder whether the spring had miraculous properties. On January 19th, Mariette saw the lady again. This time she introduced herself, "I am the Virgin of the Poor." She then declared, "This spring is for all nations and for the sick." The following evening she appeared again and made a request. "I would like a small chapel built." These words marked the beginning of Banneux's transformation into a sacred site. Over the following weeks, as more people heard about the apparitions, visitors began arriving at the Bacot home, curious to see if they too could witness the mysterious figure. Over the next few weeks, the Virgin appeared several more times. On February 11th, she stated, "I come to relieve suffering." On February 15th, when Mariette asked for a sign, she responded, "Believe in me, and I will believe in you." On February 20th, she simply urged, "Pray much." The final apparition on March 2nd was particularly significant as she revealed her full identity. "I am the mother of the Savior, the mother of God." With a blessing, she bid Mariette farewell. Each of these encounters reinforced the message of faith and compassion that Mary wished to impart, deepening Mariette's devotion and inspiring those who believed in her story. The Catholic Church launched an official investigation into the apparitions. In 1942, Bishop Kerkhoffs of Liège allowed public veneration of Our Lady of Banneux. After further examination, the Church officially recognized the authenticity of the apparitions. On August 22, 1949, pilgrims began to visit the site in large numbers, seeking healing and solace at the spring. The recognition of these events by the Church played a crucial role in solidifying Banneux as an important place of Marian devotion, and over time, more structures were built to accommodate the growing number of visitors. Mariette maintained a sense of humility and refused to seek attention for her role in the apparitions. Mariette chose to live a private life. She married, raised a family, and remained in Banneux. Despite experiencing profound spiritual events, she rarely spoke publicly about them. Mariette passed away on December 2011 at the age of 90. Those who met her described her as a woman of deep faith and simplicity, someone who carried the weight of her experiences with quiet grace. Today, the sanctuary of Our Lady of Banneux continues to be a place of pilgrimage and prayer. The spring, once a simple roadside source of water, is now considered a site of healing and grace. The chapel requested by the Virgin stands as a testament to faith and devotion. The message of the Virgin of the Poor remains relevant, emphasizing compassion, prayer, and support for those in need. Over the decades, countless pilgrims have reported experiencing spiritual renewal and even physical healings after visiting the site. Banneux has also become a center for humanitarian efforts, inspired by the Virgin's call to care for the poor and suffering. The story of Our Lady of Banneux is one of faith, perseverance, and divine presence. It reminds the world that even in the most humble places, extraordinary events can unfold, bringing hope to those who seek it.